Hey Techno Studs, in this video we're going to set up ether channels between each of our switches, and that's going to be our configurations from here on forward. Here is my network, and as we've set up in the past, we have two links going between each one of these switches. So switch 1 and switch 2 has two links, between switch 1 and switch 3 has two links, and between switch 2 and switch 3 has two links. So what we've relied on is spanning tree protocol to shut down some of those ports so that way we don't create loops within our network. But now what we want to do is we actually want to group some of these links together so we get better bandwidth between our devices. So that's what we're going to do, is we're going to set this up to get better bandwidth between our devices. I've already got the commands here on the side here that we'll use. And so let's jump on to one of these switches. We'll do switch 2 first. So I'll get onto switch 2 here. I'm going to go into the global configuration mode, so I'll paste that into there. I want to, first of all, configure the interface range FA 47 to 48. That's going to be going to the switch 1. So I'm going to get into that interface. And then I'm going to do channel group 1 mode on. So this will create that first channel group. Now, one thing to note is on this side, I'm specifying channel group 1. On the other side, it could be whatever channel group I choose on the other side. They don't need to be the same on both sides. So I don't need to program the same channel group 1 on switch 1. So I'm just going to call it channel group 1. I'll copy this, I'll paste it into here, and we will do mode on and hit enter. It creates the port channel. So let's go ahead and take a look at a do show run interface port channel, and we're looking at port channel 1. So look at the programming is already on this port. So what it took the configurations from the individual ports and moved them to the port channel 1. Just like when I showed you in the demo, when we programmed port channel 1, the configurations went to the individual ports. So I don't have to re-enter these commands, but what I would like to do is put a description in there because the description didn't carry over. So I'm going to get into interface port channel 1 and then give it a description. So I'll give that the description, and there we have it. So I'm going to do the same thing with the link over to switch 3. So this is the link, 45 and 46 is the link to switch 3. So I'm going to enter those commands in there. It created that. So there we have it. So now it's as simple as that. Now I've got switch 2 configured. I need to now go to switch 1 and 3 and do the same thing. So everything is the same across the network. All right, I have finished entering the commands in all my switches. Everything is now connected and communicating like I had planned. But I did have to do a little troubleshooting, and the reason is because I left all the ports live as I did the configuration of this, and it made the ports go into an air disabled state. Specifically, the port channels going into the air disabled state. So what I had to do is I had to get into that port channel, shut it down, and then do a no shut on it to clear that air disabled state. So it took me a little bit to figure out exactly what was going on there. So to avoid that, just unplug the ports as you're programming these. Or what you can do is, like I said, usually what I'm doing is I'm setting this all up before I actually deploy the switch, before I actually get it all set up. So I set up all the configs and then I do plugging everything in. And at that point in time, it's not a problem because it won't go into the air disabled state. So there we have it. We've got it all set up. This is going to be the configuration from here on forward. So exciting that we have greater bandwidth now between our switches.